Love them ISPs. Perusing through here inspired me to share my own experience from COVID. So this is during the height of COVID when my roommate and I are both working from home. Being a techie myself, I can't stand when my tech doesn't work. But our ISP is pretty mediocre at best, and I've gotten used to 12 small to medium internet outages per month. Nobody else services our area, so no big deal. I have other ways of getting internet, like my phone. One particularly egregious month there were many more outages than usual, some of which were 6 or more hours. Nothing I can do about it. Oh well. But my roommate, they start demanding that we get compensation for the lost time. We pay $X amount of money per month and they need to take this lost time off our bill, which we split. To their credit, they were very good at saving money. But I try to dissuade them. It's not worth it. The time isn't that much in the grand scheme of things. ISPs are notorious for these sort of shenanigans. It's not a business line, so they don't have a SLA. But they wouldn't have it. My name is on the bill, so I need to take care of it. I knew exactly where this was headed. But fine. Enter malicious compliance. I spent over an hour on the phone with wait times because of the outage and get a very nice customer support rep. I explain our situation and they agree without questioning that we should be given compensation for the amount of downtime we've experienced this month. After telling my roommate that we got $1.26 off our bill, and that I'd be taking half, so their savings for the month would be $0. 63. They stopped complaining about our internet. I've been a techie and a stickler for my internet connectivity for years and years. I called to report every outage for more than a month. The company called me back and wanted to know how I always knew when there was an outage in my area, and how I could be the first to let them know every time. As it turns out, the ISPs do not know about an outage until you tell them. The worst problem ever was when they shut off my internet for non-payment less than 48 hours after my first monthly payment. I called. They turned it back on. The next month, it happens again, this time within 24 hours of paying. I called again. They turned it back on again. This went on for a few months, until I missed a payment, and my internet stayed on. Very confused, I called in to make my payment and to confirm that things were correct on my account. Again, within 24 hours my internet was shut off again. This time I demanded to speak with a supervisor. After going over my experience, I got a promise that the problem was corrected and my internet would stay working when I made my next payment. Then my internet got turned off again after I paid my bill. I left them with an ultimatum. Either figure out how I can pay and keep my internet service, or I can just stop paying for internet, as that's the only way I can keep internet. Or they could pay for some other company to provide internet to me, since they were unable. That's the story of how I got free internet for 2 years while I lived there. I can't believe roommate made you do it. You should have charged an hour of your share of the rent or something. If you're consistently having issues, especially outages, and you've had techs out there, you can look into filing a complaint with the FCC. The company as a whole won't care, but those get a lot of local attention from higher-ups. Bear in mind, if you're in a rental property, your ISP is likely very limited on what they can do wiring-wise with what is technically your landlord's internal wiring. Source: used to work for Time Warner Cable, Spectrum and Windstream as a field tech. We had a bad ISP for a while and I wrote a thing to both keep track of our uptime and to keep track of the readings from the modem. The odd thing was the modem did nothing weird before the signal just went away, and it would come back good. Never a fade in and fade out. They sent a guy out to take signal readings, which was pointless as the modem does that. but it made them feel better. They cut the ends off all of the cables and put new ends on. They replaced the wire that came from the ground block to the back of the house. They gave up for a while. It turned out they sold the company. Anyway, the new company tried changing our modem, and that did not work. They finally sent one guy out, and he nailed it in about 30 seconds. I was impressed. The wire coming from the pole to the house had a strain relief that was nailed into the eave of our roof. That had pulled out, and the wire took a sharp 90 instead of a more rounded turn. He cut it down and we took it apart, and sure enough, the center conductor was cracked. The wind blows one way, it touches. The other way, it does not. Sadly, he did not have a bucket truck, so he just ran the wire across the lawn. It sat like that for 2 years. But we had relatively reliable internet again. We have fiber now and I could not be happier. It has been years, and as far as I can tell, cross my fingers, no downtime. You forgot to subtract your hourly rate, so your roommate should owe you $20. If it happens again, phone up, but only to add them as an authorized contact, and then they can wait on hold to ask for a discount that won't even get them a cup of coffee. My ISP compensated me for an outage in my area, which happened over the course of 3 weeks but didn't actually affect me at all. I had no problems. This has happened twice. The second time I did have an outage of about 2 hours on one day. But the issue overall wasn't fixed for a week, so again, compensated me for the whole week. They're going to notice one day. I was a much nicer billing retention rep. I'd have taken half your monthly bill off, offered you a faster speed for free for 6 months, if possible, and apologized. I would have given them an itemized statement. One line item, their savings for the loss of service. The second, a 1-hour charge for your service they demanded, at your standard employment work rate. Then bill the roommate for your time dealing with it. The only time I've had an outage of Google Fiber that I've noticed has been less than 2 hours. The other time it was over 2 hours. But during while I was asleep, I only found out about it because they sent me a refund for the lost time. Don't forget to also bill your roommate for your phone use. Welcome to America, I guess? No competition town. Capitalism. I fail to see what's the MC here. Op complied with roommate's demand. Yes. But how is it malicious? Isn't this the only possible result, even if done bona fide? Was the ISPRCN astound? How on earth is there so many outages? You on copper still?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.